What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the 10-7 MMA. I'm DS, he's DBB, and after a brief hiatus, we're back like we never left, baby.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man?
Awesome, man. UFC 290 International Fight Week was fun as hell. You came down with a case of something or another.
Whatever I got in Vegas did not stay there.
Yeah.
But
it came back.
It came back for sure. Yeah, I was fucked up for about a week there. I had a fever and whatnot, but man, UFC 290, I mean, you guys, if you're watching this, there's no way you miss that. Unbelievable card. Yeah. Unbelievable card. Unbelievable time. We met everybody. I mean, at some point, maybe we'll put together something, you know.
A little collage, a little montage.
I was picturing like a little just like little videos or little like pictures popping up one by one, and it's like something unpredictable. Ooh. But in the end is right.
Damn, maybe. Look,
it's just like me and Cejudo.
Yeah,
was slapped.
He was very slapped.
Henry Cejudo, when we met him,
he was off the shits.
Was obliterated. It was him and Gastelum. They basically look like the same guy, like just smaller.
Cejudo's a little bigger and way less drunk.
You mean Gastelum?
I'm sorry, Gastelum's a little bigger, way less drunk. But going back to the whole like montage thing, it'd be really sad if we stopped doing this podcast. But that's like a final episode.
Oh, come on.
That's years down the line.
Come on.
But I'm just, I'm a TV show guy, right? So I have these,
You're such a sentimental guy, as I know you.
Yep. No, it was a blast though, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I would do it all over again. 5 days in Vegas for me was certainly way too much.
Yeah, a lot.
I would never recommend doing that in any case, and even for a UFC event. Whatever. It was great. It was awesome. We'll show you guys that at some point, but we do have a card. Well, first of all, you should tell them where they can follow us and what they should do and all that.
We're a little rusty, so
we are a little rusty. Yeah, we'll get back into the swing of things.
But yes, thank you guys so much for the support. We've gotten a ton of new subscribers.
And sorry for leaving you guys hanging for that sick ass card last week.
Yeah, it was unreal.
It was just absolute hot garbage.
But
not that we didn't do the card because it was hot garbage. It just played out that way.
Yeah, but with the illness and with the recovering from Vegas and whatnot, it was necessary. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you want to talk about. We'll talk anything when it comes to fights. We'll talk about anything. Absolutely. Hit us up. We got a lot of love recently. Our last couple videos did pretty damn well. We got a bunch of new subscribers. So
and thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah,
absolutely
appreciate it. And last week's card, we were just talking about this a couple minutes ago. They gave us 290, which was like potentially card of the year. So far,
no question.
Unreal card. And then last week was absolute hot garbage.
Yeah.
And then now the UFC's kind of like, here, like, Tom Aspinall's back. Like,
here's some British fellas.
Here's the London card or England card or whatever. Yeah. And then next week we get to UFC 291, which is absolutely crazy again. So, yeah, I'm excited, dude.
Yeah.
Let's get through this one, and then we can get there.
Me too, man. But, this is not a bad card. For a fight night card, obviously it is one of those, as you called it, a themed card.
Yes.
A lot of British fellas, 15 fights for some reason. Some good ones on here. So let's get right into it, unless you have anything else to add.
Yeah, it's really, really hot in here. So if you see us starting to get a little damp, mind your business.
Please.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it, though. First fight of the night, it's Jafel Filo versus Daniel Barez at 125.
Yeah.
What do you think about this fight, my friend?
So the brief conversation we had before doing this, you agree that Jafel Filo looks like just like a really innocent, nice guy, right?
He does.
He has that. He
looks like a really nice guy.
Anyways, Jafel Filo, 14-3. He's a very quick 30-year-old. He's well-rounded. Sometimes he gets brawly, which is sometimes a good thing and sometimes a bad thing. But he does have serious power. He's a striker at heart, but he has a ground game. His takedowns are very good. His takedown defense is very good. Last time out, he lost to Muhammad Mokaev, which obviously a very high-level prospect, a very high-level grappler.
If Mokaev was a smarter man, he would have Filo would have won that fight.
Right. Most people would have tapped.
Yeah.
He had him in that knee bar, which I think messed up Mokaev's knee. We don't know to what extent.
I never followed up to exactly.
But yes, he injured him. To face a high-level prospect like that and to be getting your ass kicked like Jafel Filo was and to still find essentially what was a finish even though
he never gave up. I mean, he just kept going for it.
It was very, very impressive. I think he is legit. He's taken on Daniel, is it Barez?
Barez, yeah.
He's a high pace, high output guy. Another striker who is comfortable on the ground. Oftentimes on the ground, he tends to get risky, is what I've noticed.
Yeah.
But he'll go for it, and that'll leave you in a bad position oftentimes because most of the time you're not going to get that finish.
Mm-hmm.
So it messes with him a little bit. Most guys can't keep up with his pace. He has a very high motor, very high output. It works out for him. Tons and tons of first-round finishes. Mm-hmm. But what's weird about that is a shit ton of first-round finishes. And then as we move to the second and third, not very many, but then a ton of decisions.
But he has... So is it the fact that he just puts on a pace early? But, I mean, he seems to be able to sustain it.
Yeah, I mean, he wins a ton of decisions. But what I'm saying is, like, so many first-round finishes, and then, like, not many second, not many third, but a good amount of decisions. So it's like he gets you out of there early, or he's going to win a decision is what it tends to be. I don't know. I found that a little bit weird. I think both guys look legit. I'm slightly leaning towards Filio here for a couple reasons. One being the fact that he's already fought in the UFC against a very high-level prospect, a very talented grappler in Makhachev. The other fact that he's 4 years younger. He does have some cardio issues. We've seen him fade a little bit towards the end of fights, so that does worry me. I think he'll be able to survive the early onslaught and go... I'll give him a decision, 29-28, but since we're in London, let's get a little funky. Since we're back, let's get a little funky.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet draw in this fight. I'm taking Filio to win it, but I think there is a world where Barez can 10-8 him in the first, and Filio being the kind of dude that he is, survives it and wins the next two. I am picking Filio. I'm betting draw.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, put like $5 on it. What do you got to lose?
$5.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you've said. You mentioned Filio's power. I think Daniel Barez has a shit ton of power, man. He, so many first-round finishes. This dude throws really hard. For 125, man, some of these new 125ers have legit power now. That's pretty cool.
We're getting there. The game's evolving,
Absolutely. And this guy's dangerous, man. I know we just saw Filio look good against Makhachev. Initially, when I watched the tape on Barez, because I don't know about you, I didn't know anything about him before, this. I thought he was going to knock him out, honestly. My one qualm with that is that as I started going through his record... And the four first-round finishes that he had, his last four, the records, 14-12, 6-9, 7-9. Two guys with losing records, okay? 10-9-1. So, and then before that, his last fight after those was a split decision loss to Carlos Hernandez on the Contender Series in 2021. Yeah. So, obviously this guy has some skill. He's decent. But I don't think he's going to be able to fly through and knock out Filio just like that. So I'm actually going to go Filio by second round sub in this one.
There we go.
Moving on to the next fight.
We agree, by the way. First fight of the night. It's always a thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Moving on to the next fight of the night. And this one is just going to be a barn burner. It's Bruna Brazil versus the debuting Irish woman, Shauna Bannon. I guess I'll take this one first. I don't think either of these women are very good. When I was watching film... on Bannon, I noticed that she's got a lot of hype, and is it because she has a typical colorful Irish personality? Mm-hmm. She's got really blonde hair, not bad looking, I guess, to some people.
Not your cup of tea?
Not my cup of tea, certainly. The fake lips and all that, not a huge fan. Whatever. We're here to talk about her fighting. Bruna Brazil looked fucking pathetic her last time out. Mm-hmm. I picked her to win, too, so I feel even saltier about that. I don't imagine I bet that. I can't remember now. I told myself I'm never picking Bruna again, but Shauna Bannon looks like she throws nothing behind her shots. She has some taekwondo skill, from what I can tell. Throws her punches slow as hell, no power behind it, no intent behind anything. I don't know, man. For me, I didn't really see anything on film that stuck out. The women that she's beating up on are trash.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to do this. I told myself I'm never picking Bruna Brazil again after that. Neither of these women should be in the UFC. I'm going to go 29-28 decision Bruna's way. If she loses this one, please cut her.
Okay.
And Bannon, obviously, she's just debuting. She doesn't have as much to lose here. She is on her home turf. I could see her, maybe the crowd getting behind her. I don't want any parts of this when it comes to betting or anything like that, but I guess I'm going to go with Bruna Brazil 29-28 decision. This is going to be the worst fight of the night.
Okay. I agree with most of what you said. Bruna Brazil, it's weird, right? Because Bruna Brazil, people were expecting her to be something when she debuted, and then she lost to Denise Gomes, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess that after last week or after 2 weeks ago at UFC 290, that's aging a little better than
bit. Yeah,
we would think
I had
it
that
is.
written down too. Forgot to mention it, but yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, and then Shauna Bannon, I think her nickname, by the way, Mama B, which is I'm
Great.
down. I'm down for
you
that.
You have a kid. That's cool. I mean,
all right. Here's the thing.
sake,
So she's 5-0. She's entering the UFC. You mentioned her opponents being trash. Here's her opponents' records: 1-1, 3-0, 3-0, 1-2, and 6-4. Mm-hmm. And that's in Invicta and in Cage Legacy, which is like Invicta's like pretty big.
You should hear these announcers talk about her though.
Yeah.
Shauna Bannon, Mama B, as if she's like fucking beating I don't know who, dude.
Her thing is she's really aggressive. She puts on a ton of pressure. She's a tough lady. But yes, nothing is technical. Nothing looks that good. There's really nothing that sticks out.
I feel like if she threw any strike that she's ever thrown at you and you did this, they would go nowhere near.
Right. And yeah, but they do. She is highly touted for what it's worth. We've been seeing a lot of these highly touted women coming into the UFC and not being at all who people thought they were.
Yeah.
And I think you've noticed, and I think we've mentioned it before, I've been picking against all of them.
Yeah.
For a few months now. I've been picking against every lady that's coming into the UFC with like somewhat of a name. I'm not doing it anymore. And it's been working out. I'm going to stick with that here. I think Bruna Brazil was a better version. She came in more highly touted. She is more technical. She is more skilled. It's women's MMA. So who knows? I'm going to pick against the new it girl here. I'm going with Brazil.
I'm shocked. I thought you were going to go big.
No, I'm going Bruna Brazil 30-27.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think she'll handily win it?
Yeah, I mean, what, 30-27, 29-20. It's women's MMA.
Yeah.
I mean,
those could go either way.
Right.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next fight of the night, and it is the Scotsman Chris Duncan, who certainly not one of the smartest fighters that I've seen fight, versus Yanala Schmooze.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one?
Okay, so this is actually, we're going to go from probably what's going to be a boring-ass fight to a pretty exciting one.
Yeah.
Chris Duncan, he's
because neither of them have defense.
Right. Chris Duncan's super heavy-handed. He is tough as hell. He gets dropped a shit ton.
His chin is non-existent.
But then he wins. Like, most of the time, he'll get up and he'll win.
He did do a good job versus, what's his name? The Venezuelan guy.
Omar Morales.
Omar Morales, yeah.
Yes.
That was actually a great fight.
So in his UFC debut, he beats Omar Morales. Before that, on the Contender Series, he violently knocked out the Serra Longo product, Charlie Campbell. Only loss of his career came in his first Contender Series fight against Slava Claus. Yeah. So that's not a bad loss, right? Mm-hmm. On top of serious power, he does have good takedowns. He doesn't have too much when he is on the ground. But he has a ton of takedowns.
And a lot of his opponents get right back up.
Exactly. And then we have Yanal Ashmuz. I was very unimpressed with him before the UFC.
Beyond unimpressed.
And I remember us talking about it, and we're like, this dude doesn't belong in the UFC. I don't know why the hell he's
Patterson.
Here. But, yeah, I mean, whatever, But
tall, goofy-ass, long-neck
right,
boy got slept.
Slept badly.
Yes.
So that's the thing with Yanal Ashmuz, right? That's what I was getting at, essentially, was he looked like he didn't belong in the UFC. Yeah. Then he comes in and gets a violent first-round knockout.
Emphatic. Can't take that away.
At the other guy's home.
Yeah.
Is it about Yanal Ashmuz or is it about Patterson?
Yeah.
That's the question, really. We didn't learn too much about him. The thing is, I think both guys are very dangerous. I think they both have power. They're both very hittable. But I've seen more from Duncan. I think it's a 50-50 fight very early on, and I think it could end early either way for either guy. But I think as the fight goes on, the skills of Duncan will start to show, and if we get there, he should win this fight. Or maybe Yanal Ashmuz is the new Dricus Duplessis, and he's just not that good, and he's just knocking people out all the time.
Yep.
I'm going Duncan round 1 KO.
Maybe he has a deviated septum, too, or whatever Dricus has.
Who knows, Doug?
Don't remind me of that, by the way. That was the worst moment of last weekend for me. Initially I had Chris Duncan winning this, and then watching the tape, man, he's just not smart. He's just not a smart fighter. So maybe he gets dropped off to work, I don't know. Is the chin sus? Yes, it is. Yanal Ashmuz, has he shown anything special at all? Less than. Like, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Aside from that Sam Patterson knockout, who the fuck is Sam Patterson?
And they were making Sam Patterson seem like he was like this super high prospect.
Run that video back. Nobody's gonna do that. And why would you? I wouldn't do it.
Right.
But when we did that, I was like, neither of these guys are very good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tough one for me to call. I think Davey would crucify me if I. Well, maybe that's a poor choice of words.
Very poor choice of words.
But I am gonna go with Yanal Shmuz here. I think he's gonna get a knockout.
Yeah.
And last I checked, he was the underdog in this one.
And I think rightfully so. If no, it's even now. It's a coin flip.
Okay. Well, fuck's sake. There goes that whole argument. 74% of people on Tapology picking him, which is very interesting.
Very interesting.
I'm going to go with Shmuz. I don't feel good about it. There are a lot of fights like this on this card where they're either like very clear cut to me or like I want no parts of it. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yep.
Nothing impressive on his resume, but Chris Duncan, he just gets clipped, man, and he gets dropped every fight. I think this is the time where Yanal Shmuz, if he does get him down, he'll get the finish. But again, not terribly confident.
Yep.
Moving on to the next fight of the night, and it is the fourth fight. It's Ketlen Vieira versus your girl, Pannie Kianzad. You're a big Pannie Kianzad guy. Don't try to deny it.
You were texting me that this week. Like the week leading up to this video, you were texting me about her being
because I've said that to you before. I don't know why. I just like saying Pannie Kianzad.
It's a good name.
It's a cool name to say.
It's a good name.
She doesn't have teeth.
No, that's cool.
So you told me you might want to do something gap. But maybe that's for another.
I think that's how you got sick in Vegas. You're playing with somebody's gap or something. I don't know, bro. Something went down.
Damn. No, but I did pull like a 36-year-old LA MILF.
Really?
Yeah, that was fun. Davey was he was actually wingmanning me. Wingmanning me hard with his dance moves. But in any case, Ketlen Vieira versus Pannie Kianzad, I see this one as pretty straightforward. Ketlen Vieira's pretty good. Pannie Kianzad's not bad. I think for me the biggest difference is the power difference. Ketlen Vieira throws with legit power. She's got some serious power in her hands. She throws hard. She's fought some of the best. She beat Holly Holm recently. She almost beat Pennington in a split decision, but ended up taking the L in a close fight. Kianzad held her own versus Pennington too, but yeah, I just think the power difference is going to be big. Again, women's MMA, disclaimer. I see 29-28 Vieira's way.
Okay, so yeah, it's women's MMA, it's women's bantamweight. I don't think there's too much of a threat of a finish in this fight.
Nah.
Obviously, Vieira is huge. Like, she is a big lady. She is powerful. She has good takedowns. She's very slow. Then you have Pannie Kianzad. She's a good striker. And I say good striker, and that's in relation to the division, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean she's like a dynamic striker, but she's very good for the division. She's not like a Stephen
Wonderboy Thompson. No,
right, but she's very good for the division. Yeah. She's the smaller, quicker lady here. That being said, I'm going Pannie Kianzad. I'm going Pannie Kianzad.
Wow.
Yeah, I just think...
I knew she was a yo girl.
Right, and after you text me that, I thought about it, and I was
like... maybe she is.
Maybe. But, no, I'm taking her by decision, because here's the thing. I think Vieira looks like the easy pick, right? And it makes sense. Like,
what are the odds on this one?
I totally understand it. There is a possibility that Ketlen Vieira can take Pannie Kianzad down and just hold her there for 15 minutes and easily cruise to a decision, okay?
Yeah.
However, there's a world where Pannie Kianzad is a lot faster, and she's able to just touch her and stay away. And I don't like that you're doing that. It's throwing me off a little bit. But Vieira has looked very slow, man, in her last 3-4 fights. You mentioned she won her last fight by split decision. I'm sorry, she lost the split decision to Raquel Pennington in a fight that she arguably won.
Yeah.
And then before that, she beat Holly Holm split decision in a fight she arguably lost.
Yeah.
And before that, she beat Miesha Tate. She didn't look all that. She lost to Yana Santos, which is not very impressive.
That was the one that was like maybe Pannie.
Kind of iffy, right?
Yeah.
So at this point,
honestly,
I don't know.
I could understand the Pannie pick, especially because it's plus 160.
That's what I'm saying.
Minus 200 is kind of crazy. I think these are two pretty even fighters, all said and done. And they're also both exactly 31 years old. They're like the same height, same reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the same height, same reach thing, I think Vieira is going to be the obviously bigger fighter when they stand next to each other.
Night, yeah.
Right. My whole thing with it is just like, this division is, and this is no knock against Ketlen Vieira. I think she can beat anybody in that top 5. She's proven that she is a top 5 fighter, but that just speaks about the weight class, man.
Yeah.
It's just such a shitty weight class, especially now with Nunes leaving.
Yeah.
It's like, who knows?
There's a lot of talks of them dissolving it.
Yeah, it's up for grabs. I'm going Pannie 29-28.
Isn't my girl... My bad. Say that again.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't my girl Norma Dumont 135?
Norma Dumont, she probably walk around like 155, 160 shit.
We'll saw that movement back there.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
By the way, I really loved that whole interaction with her and the fucking Chelsea Chandler thing, dude.
Yeah.
That run had me in tears.
That was hilarious.
In tears, dude.
That was like one of the 3 shining moments of last week's amazing card.
That was the number 1 moment.
Yeah, it was the best.
So
That was cool.
Anyway, moving on to the next fight of the night, it's Bryan Barberena versus Makhmud Muradov at 185. What do you think about this one?
Bryan Bam Bam Bershi Barberena, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him.
Yeah, me either. But
18-10, sick ass.
Hey, but we're both Bam Bams, so shout out all the Bam Bams out there. Bryan Barberena, he's a tough veteran. He's a brawler. He's nothing too special anywhere. He's decent.
He's got no power in his hands.
Right. He's just a dog with like good cardio.
Yeah.
He keeps up a pace. He's tough. He has wrestling.
I wouldn't even say good cardio. Like,
solid cardio.
Solid, yeah.
He has wrestling and grappling that he like in his back pocket, but he never uses it.
Never. Why is he back at middleweight?
I don't know, bro. Who knows what the like?
To me, when you're doing all this, what's all that movement back there? But like, why? Like when there's a lot of movement, it's like I don't know. Like, you're looking for something,
right?
That you're not finding,
right?
So
and he hasn't been like, I think he's won his last 2 fights, but before that he had lost 2 fights in a row, I believe. And he lost 2 fights and he won 2 fights before that.
Tapped out by both Gunnar Nelson and Rafael Dos Anjos.
Yeah, sorry. So those are 2 heavy grapplers. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Those are 2 heavy grapplers that he lost to. Gunnar Nelson's obviously like strictly a grappler. And then RDA is RDA. He's got very good grappling. And of course he's getting out grappled by those guys. However, if he does use the grappling against guys that aren't those guys, I think it would be beneficial for him. However, he never does it. I thought like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that Bryan Barberena was done. It looked like he was way too slow. It looked like he didn't have any power.
I thought the move to 170 was good for him. I mean, he ran into 2 guys that are one specialist who like you can't let him get you down. He got you down.
Right.
It was over, and that's very predictable.
Yeah.
RDA is RDA, dude.
Exactly.
RDA will stand with the top still. You know,
so
it's kind of weird to me that he just dipped out of out of welterweight after.
And then before that, he had beat Robbie Lawler and Matt Brown, which to me was
he did beat Robbie Lawler.
Which to me was just like, oh, he beat like these 2 old guys that are done. However, both of those guys went on to win their next fights for what that's worth. So, anyways,
man, that was a great moment though.
That was amazing.
Oh, the Robbie Lawler moment was
unreal,
unbelievable at UFC 290.
It was crazy. With the last of the Mohicans or whatever the hell he walked out to, that was unreal.
Yep.
But anyways, Bryan Barberena,
the Mohicans.
Like I said, I thought he was done, and maybe he is, but I guess the guys that he beat went on to win, so who knows? I guess we'll see. He's taking on Muradov. Muradov's from Uzbekistan. He's 3-2 in the UFC. He won his first 3, lost his next 2. He has very good hands. He has good kicks. He's a very technical striker.
Yep.
He's got very good takedown defense. We got to see that last time out against Caio Bahalio.
I don't see this going anywhere near the ground.
Right. So I think, to me, this is very simple. I think Muradov is the way more technical striker. And if this fight stays on the
powerful.
feet, right? And if this fight stays on the feet, Muradov is going to find a finish.
Yep.
I think Barberena should go for the takedowns because he has that advantage potentially.
Potentially. I'm not even convinced.
That's what I'm saying. Potentially. That's easier said than done, right? Taking down Muradov is a pretty difficult thing to do, and holding him down is another thing.
Dude, yeah.
And then B, that's just not how Bryan Barberena wants to fight.
No.
So to me, it's very simple. I think Muradov eventually is going to find the chin. He's going to take him. He's going to get him down. I think this fight ends in a TKO, one way or the other, probably the second round.
Yep. Yeah, I have it ending by TKO by Muradov as well. Again, I don't know why Barberena's back at middleweight. Kind of strange to me. And at his core, what is he? He's a volume striker. He doesn't have a lot of power. He's just going to pepper you and pepper you and pepper you. Muradov has way more power, way more technical as a striker. He's bigger. He's stronger. I mean, just look at the physique difference, right? You know, I see him eventually clipping Barberena, getting him to the ground and just TKOing him, ground and pounding the shit out of him to a TKO finish in this one.
Yeah,
so.
I thought Muradov was a bit younger than he actually is too, which is surprising. He's only a year younger than Bryan Barberena.
Yeah, well, yeah, I knew he wasn't too young, which is fucked up because he's the same age as us. But yeah, you know, here we are. That's at the point of our lives that we're at. And moving on to the next fight. It's actually Mick Parkin. This is our first heavyweight fight of the card.
Mick Parkin.
Mick Parkin.
Not to be confused with Mick Foley or McDonald's or any other Mick.
Or Pick Markin.
Right. Or Park Mickin.
versus Jamal Pogues. And just, again, it's heavyweight. And I will say this, Mick Parkin, much better shape than a lot of these guys. He's big as hell.
He's huge, yeah.
He's 260 pounds, but he's not fat. I mean, he can move, and that's one thing that first stood out to me when I was watching tape on him. Sadly, I really don't believe that either of these guys are very good. Jamal Pogues, I know we liked watching him last time. Me and you were both like, this guy seems lit, and he's got like a nice story, and I remember he was like emotional and whatnot. And then last time out, he beat...
Yep, exactly. Who cares,
Yeah, no, he beat Josh Parisian, for fuck's sake. I mean, okay, I will also say, Mick Parkin, who, again, so hyped when you're watching these regional scenes, like the UK. Oh, Mick Parkin! Like, they're loving this guy. Like, he's the next coming. And I know he trains with Paul Craig and Tom Aspinall. He is certainly not these guys.
No.
Okay, he's not Tom Aspinall for sure, and he's not even Paul Craig, I'll tell you that much. He fought a 2-17 guy. So, he has had the single easiest path to the UFC that I've ever heard of in my entire life. He's 6-0, okay? Mm-hmm. You ready for this? He's 6-0, okay? He fought, his first fight was versus a 1-10 guy, okay? He knocked him out in the first round. Sick.
Right.
Okay? His next fight, referee stoppage in the first round, 2-17. 2-17, okay? His third fight, 2-3.
By the way, that 2-17 guy is now 2-28, so...
Well, you know what? Props to him for, like, in the last year and a half, he's just canning it out, my guy. He got 11 more fights in. He's just getting his ass whooped.
Let's get it.
I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy, actually, to be honest. That's nuts,
and
dude.
What's funny
for, like, $14 probably.
And they're all knockouts. He just gets knocked out every time. So, yeah, it's just knockout, elbows, knockout.
Because you know what it is? It's probably like, all right, come on. Call, what's his name?
Jan Lysak.
Call Jan Lysak. Call the Czech guy. You
His
know what to
nickname's the
do.
Monster.
He's just gonna fucking get slept, and like he knows the deal, and that's it.
How you gonna call yourself the Monster and get knocked out 28 times?
I don't know.
And then who are these poor assholes that he's beating?
He's beating somebody.
Right, he's beating.
When's
two
the
guys.
last time
he won his first fight? He was 1-0.
And man, look at those dreams dashed. He
And
must have had high hopes after that.
Then he lost like 10 in a row, and he beat some guy named Luke Morton.
See, there's a difference. Like, if I got my ass beat 10 times in a row, I'd be like, bro, this is not for me. Like, I'm going to go fucking be an accountant or something.
Check this out. The guy that he beat, Luke Morton, 3-8 out of England, okay?
Okay.
Check this out. So he lost to him, and then he was like, fuck this, I'm not fighting anymore. He retired after that.
After he lost to this guy?
Right, of course. But before that, same dude had lost to Sergey Spivak.
See, there it is. They're like, get this kid in there and whoop his ass and get him out of there. So, yes, please. 2-17, 2-3, 7-7, 6-9, and then they gave him some other poor schlub who was 5-0, and now it's Jamal Pogues. Jamal Pogues, very raw. Is he a world beater? By God, no. He's super raw. I mean, he did not really look like he knew what he was doing in there.
Yeah.
He's actually a BJJ black belt. Did you know that?
Nope.
I mean, neither until I found out somehow, but he's going to be stronger, Pogues that is. He's going to be sloppier too, Mick Parkin actually does look like he has some semblance of some technique as far as on the feet. And he's okay on the ground, too. It's a tough call. I may be leaning Mick, controlling him on the ground. But, I mean, again, Pogues is a black belt. What does that really mean, though? Sometimes some of these places give out black belts a little bit easier than others. And that's saying it lightly. I don't know. Pogues looked like shit his last fight versus Parisian. So... I don't know, man. It's going to be a low-output fight. It's going to be a damn boring fight. I guess the way I see it most likely playing out is Mick Parkin probably actually peppering him on the feet because Pogues is not high output, and I think at the end of the day that he's going to outpoint him. It's going to be one of those where visually to the judges and on the scorecards he ends up racking up a bunch of strikes just because Pogues has no defense and he's slow. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably the way I see it going. Decision for Mick Parkin. I want no parts of any of these guys or this fight. So,
okay, I want to touch back on the Luke guy.
Okay.
All right, so he lost to Jan Lysak or whatever, and then retired, right?
Yep.
That was the last fight of his career.
Yeah.
First fight of his career, he beat Jan Lysak.
Bro, he lost to Anderson Silva.
That's not it. Yeah, okay. No, it's a different I
figured.
Anyways, so he beat Jan Lysak the first time, lost to him, and he retired him. That's the trilogy we need.
Wow.
So
the Lysak versus
fucking Luke
Morton trilogy?
Yeah.
Man. All right.
Anyways, this fight's going to be super boring. I agree with you. It's going to be very grapple heavy.
You think so?
Yeah, because both guys want to clinch. That's like essentially the end goal of both of the dudes. Jamal Pogues has a little more ability.
Get two big guys down, they don't get back up.
Right.
Yeah.
Pogues has like a little more of that like strike and get away ability, just like the pop and jabs kind of style.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't see this fight being very active. I don't see it being very high paced. I think it's going to go to the cards, and I just think that Jamal Pogues will probably lose on the cards.
Yeah.
Even though
Parkin's style lends itself better to a decision.
Right, and even if Pogues is able to kind of just pick at him and sneak those rounds away, as you mentioned, the style is nicer for Parkin, and I don't even trust the judges to get it right in a very close fight in England with the English guy. So I am going decision for Mick Parkin 29-28.
Have we agreed on every single one so far?
Except for Pannie.
That's right.
And please let's move on and never talk about that fight again.
Please. Moving on to the next fight of the night, it's famous Englishman Marc versus Joel Alvarez. And I love me some Joel Alvarez. I'm glad to see him back. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But tell me what you think about this one.
All right, Joel Alvarez, he's obviously very big for the division. He is somewhat of a weight bully. I'm worried about him making weight this time around.
I mean, always, yeah. Especially off a layoff.
Right. We know what his game plan is. He wants to be the bigger guy. He wants to outweigh his opponent. He wants to grapple. He wants to get you down and look for a submission. That's his goal. His only losses in the UFC, and I think in his MMA career, have come to great grapplers. Arman Tsarukyan, Damir Ismagulov. So he loses to guys that like really know their way around.
Those
grappling.
are also really good fighters.
That's what I'm saying. They're high-ranked guys, and they're very good grapplers as well. So he's slick, dude. He is dangerous. He is always alive. He is always a live pick for a win. Because if this fight gets to the ground, you're probably screwed with him on top of you. Anyways, then we have Marc Diakiese. He's a very weird fighter to me.
He's so inconsistent.
As of late, he had been relying so much on his wrestling, and he was putting on absolute snooze fest fights.
Yep.
But he was known to be like the striker with a shit ton of power.
And then he fought Michael Johnson.
He started losing, and then he's like, fuck that. I'm going to go to grappling and be boring.
Well, but then he fought Michael Johnson. He's like, fuck it, spinning kicks.
Right. So maybe he's back to his striking ways, or maybe he's back to his grappling ways. Like, I don't know what to think of him. We saw the wrestling, like that heavy wrestling attack against Slava and against Damir Hadjovic. He was fun, and then I just feel like he stopped being fun. But anyways, if Diakiese tries to grapple here, if he goes that route, he is absolutely screwed. I don't think that's his game plan at all. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He needs to try to win this fight on the feet. His best bet is to find Alvarez's chin, which Alvarez is not a great striker, but he's not very hittable either.
I don't know. He's not that bad as
That's what I'm saying. He's not like one of those strict specialists. Like we're going to see Paul Craig later.
Advantage too, 6'3" to 5'10". I mean,
we're going to see Paul Craig later on. That's a specialist, right?
Yeah.
He's not Ryan Hall. He's not those guys.
Right.
He's definitely better than those guys. Look, I'm going to trust Joel Alvarez.
Dude, he slept Thiago Moises.
Yeah, with elbows and shit. It was nice. So I'm trusting Joel Alvarez despite him being super, super inactive. The losses are to great fighters.
Do you know why that was?
Why?
Do you know? I'm asking you. Like, was it like an injury or something?
No, and
I really like him. I should know that, but I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah, so I'm picking him despite all that. I think his losses are to great fighters. I don't think Marc Diakiese is a great fighter. I think he's solid.
Yeah.
We're gonna see though. It's a coin flip to be honest. The best bets here are Alvarez by sub or Diakiese by knockout. I think.
Yeah.
I'm going Alvarez round 2 sub. I think if Diakiese makes a mistake,
Diakiese by knockout, no fucking chance, dude. I just don't see that.
Anyways, I am taking Alvarez by sub. I think if there's a mistake made, he's going to capitalize on it.
Yeah. And I just want to point out, too, in the Tsarukyan fight, he was holding his own, and then he got just viciously elbowed.
Yeah.
That's the most blood in like a 2-second span I've ever seen accumulate in my entire life, I think.
Accumulate?
It was literally like right between the eyes, and it was just fucking gushing, dude. Yeah. That wasn't. If you've not seen that, go watch the Sarukian elbow.
That's kind of how I like it, between the eyes and just gushing.
Oh,
that's
weird. But man, I don't know. I think Alvarez, to be honest, I know Diakiese throws all that spinning shit and all that. I really don't like Marc Diakiese. I'll be honest with you.
Me either.
Joel Alvarez.
I'm glad you said
he's a bit of a weight bully. He's rangy as hell. I think you're not giving him enough credit on the feet, to be honest. I think
he's good, but
he's a pretty good striker, and with the range that he has, I think it'll really help him.
See,
I'm sorry.
That's why he's a good striker.
Yeah,
it's because of the length. It's because of the reach. It's because he's so much bigger than these guys.
And I think because of that reach, the 4-inch reach advantage, and the 3 or 4 inch height difference, I think we're gonna see Diakiese throwing that wild spinning shit to get into range, to get something to land. I think Joel Alvarez is enough of a fighter to not get caught in something like that. Also, what is a great way to get taken to the ground is when you're spinning and your back is turned to somebody.
We saw that with Valentina.
Exactly. Yeah. So I could absolutely see something like that. And Joel Alvarez loves that triangle, loves the triangle choke, loves the arm bar. I see this ending by sub. And for Joel Alvarez, I could even see him getting a knockout, to be honest. I don't think that's nearly as high of a chance. I don't love that he's coming off a long layoff. Like I said, at least Diakiese's been pretty active. I don't love his fight style. I don't love the wild shit that he throws. I think it leaves an opportunity for him to get taken to the ground pretty easily. And I think no matter where this goes, Joel Alvarez could potentially have the advantage, and certainly on the ground. Yeah. And I do see this ending in a sub.
There we go. So we got to the same point. We took different roads.
Absolutely. Moving on to the next fight of the night, and this is Danny Roberts versus Jonny Parsons. This is just, what do you think about this one? Because when I was watching film on this, and when I saw this initially, I'm like, what the fuck do I make of this? Like, Jonny Parsons has a split decision win on the Contender Series versus Solomon Renfro, big swole ass.
That's our boy, bro. That's my boy. I don't know if he's your boy, but
is it?
I like Solomon Renfro.
He's fine, And then Danny Roberts, okay. Last time out, obviously, he got absolutely knocked out by Jack Del Maddalena. Mm-hmm. What is that really saying? Yeah. I don't know. This may be the hardest fight for me to call in the entire card. Mm-hmm. Parsons hasn't been active at all. Danny Roberts is pretty chinny from what I've seen. I feel like his chin is a little bit sus. Parsons hasn't fought since he took on Renfro, like I said, and that wasn't even in 22. That was Dana White's Contender Series 2021. Yep. But man, he showed he's tough as hell. He showed he's got a lot of toughness in that fight. I think for me the difference is the chin. I think that Danny Roberts' chin he's been knocked out. The chin of Parsons, in theory, should be better. So, obviously, Danny Roberts is the more technical of the strikers between the two. I don't see this going anywhere near the ground. I think I'm leaning Parsons because of that difference in chin, but really it can go either way for me on this one. Roberts has fought much better comp, even though he's lost to most of them at this point. He hasn't looked completely lost, let's say at least. He doesn't move his head too much, and Parsons does have decent power, so I'm going to go Parsons round 2 KO. I think he catches him. Yeah. But I don't feel like superbly anything about this, to be honest. So
to me, the difference is the speed, and as you said, the chin. I think Parsons is a lot faster, and I think Roberts has a very sus chin. I think Parsons will touch his chin. I think he's going to do that, and if he does that, it's probably lights out.
Probably.
I'm going round 1. I'm going round 1 KO, okay. And I think we just buzzkill the UK crowd, and then we'll pick it back up later.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure we got something for them.
Right.
Moving on to the next fight of the night. What do you know? It's another British fella. And this one I actually like. I do like Davey Grant. Mm-hmm. It's Davey Grant versus Daniel Marcos, the undefeated Peruvian fighter?
Yes.
At 135. And this one's interesting. What do you think about this one?
All right. So Dangerous Davey Grant, which is a great nickname, versus Daniel Marcos. Let's talk about Davey Grant. He is a dog.
I love Davey Grant. Yeah, I love me some Davey.
He's a very fun fighter. He's one of those guys that I guess he's sort of similar to, and not in fight style, but to Bryan Barberena. He's like one of those just like scrappy, right? And I said not in fight style, but what I mean is like just one of those scrappy guys, always just kind of going for it.
I guess in terms of like his position in the division, where it's like he'll put on some fights, but he's not going to be at the top at this point. Plus, Davey Grant's even a little bit older too.
Right.
I just want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
They're really giving these British guys, like, not layups, but like, oh, you're a striker? Here's a striker. Yeah. You know? Oh, literally, look through every single one of the fights that we've gone through so far. Nobody has like a
you have like a glaring weakness. We're not gonna go.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna expose that. Whereas, like, oh, sick, you're some debuting American fighter. Here's a fucking guy. Here's from a guy with a Muslim first name and an OV ending last name, and it's like,
you've never wrestled before.
Yeah. Oh, sick. Oh, Kevin Holland, sick, bro. Here's Hamza. Like, so I don't know. For me, like, they're giving these guys a lot of layups, and not even just in regards to the style matchups. We'll go through some absurd layups at the end of the card, but yeah.
But yes, I did want to mention, we were talking about this earlier, like these themed cards, I'm not a huge fan of them. And I know you're not either, because, okay, I get it. If the main event is like some dude from Dagestan versus a dude from England,
and you like just like, oh, this guy needs to fight at some point. This guy's like, sure, make that fight. I get that.
Throw it in there.
Get the money, but I don't need 15 fucking British guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just because we're in England doesn't mean that we can't have like an Australian versus a Brazilian.
And it's not like I would imagine in the UK if they're like, whoa. It ain't a British lad in it. It's just like, whoa, Brazilian versus I'm sure they'll watch it.
Right,
still.
And then meanwhile, while we're here in America, we go to cards and it's like, here's a Brazilian guy versus an Australian guy.
Yeah, right.
Here's like a Mexican dude versus some dude from China. It's like, fam, like, how come we don't complain? But anyways.
I mean, and I'm sure the British people wouldn't. It's just like, I don't think you need to take it that
like
far.
over-theme it.
Yeah. And like does Mick... Like, to the point where you're forcing some... Who the fuck is Mick Parkin, bro?
Right.
What is Mick Parkin going to do in the UFC?
Apparently he's going to win this fight against Jamal Pogues.
And then another thing. And another thing.
Let's hear this,
is like, oh, sick. Like, who's fighting later that's like the biggest fucking... the biggest proponent of all this shit is Lerone Murphy.
Right, they just give him a straight boxer, like a straight...
Well, no, but Lerone Murphy is like... For sure, bro. See you fucking next year on the London card. And you know who else?
Well, let's talk about that.
And Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood. Bro, I genuinely
think fight.
Nathaniel Wood could potentially be... I swear to God, I think he could potentially be a top 5 featherweight right now.
Right.
Right now, he could be... Skill-wise, I know he's only 5'6". He's really fucking good.
So look,
and it's like, sick, bro. You're gonna fucking beat... Who's he fighting? He's fighting Andre Fili. Sick. You're gonna beat Andre Fili. Oh, can't wait till fucking 2024 around this time when he's fighting fucking Bill Algeo in London,
right?
In Paris. Like, this guy only fights in Paris. Like, bro, do you want this career? Like, do you want to continue to expand this career? Like,
so on top of those two guys, there is also Jai Herbert, who only fights
another guy.
But anyways, we'll get there when we get there. Right now, we're talking about dangerous Davey Grant. He choked out Rafael Assunção last time out, super late in the fight. It was really impressive.
Super late in the fight, and that's hella impressive, man. Assunção, I know he was 40 at the time, but damn, he's still good, man.
It was super impressive, and before that, he put on an absolutely amazing masterclass where he showed superior striking against that piece of shit, Luis Smolka.
I forgot now, but like, I knew when I was watching film, I'm like, yes, I know for a fact that Dino will be making a Luis Smolka reference.
So here's the thing, though. He looked very impressive in that fight, but if it was against someone who was like solid, that would be super impressive.
Right.
But unfortunately, it was against a fucking bum bitch. Yeah. So it wasn't that impressive at all.
Safe to say, he's not a ya boy.
Absolutely not. He's not even a y'all's boy.
Yeah,
he's a nobody's boy.
Y'all don't.
Yeah. Anyways, after he beat that loser, as I said, he beat Rafael Assunção. Before that, kind of up and down with Davey Grant. You know, bit of a rebound. Let's say this: he's a dog, and he's in every fight until the end. So there's that.
Dude, he looked good versus Cheeto.
Yeah, he did. He's in every fight, I'm telling you. He's facing the undefeated Daniel Marcos out of Peru. He's 1-0 in the UFC. He beat Simon Oliveira last time out with a body TKO. He's the better, cleaner striker here. He has more technique pretty much everywhere except for, I guess, in the jiu-jitsu department than Davey Grant does. When he has his opponents hurt, he goes after it. He is a finisher by all means. Since you can never count out Davey Grant, I'm a little uncomfortable with this fight, but I do think Marcos is going to hurt him, and I think he's eventually going to get him out of there. I'm going Marcos by KO, probably late in this fight, maybe third round, and the buzzkill continues for the England crowd. But don't trip, we got y'all.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on that one, so maybe not a buzzkill, potentially.
Okay.
I agree with everything you said. I originally wanted to pick Daniel Marcos, I really did. it's another tough fight to predict. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Daniel Marcos, really good knees, great head movement. Last time out, he fought, what's his name, Oliveira, who was just an idiot. Like, that guy just gassed out. Mm-hmm. Like, his strategy was god-awful. My question is, does Davey Grant have the cardio to go at, what is he, 37 now, or years old?
Yeah, 38, something like that.
38, yeah, dangerous Davey Grant. Let's see, he is 1985, whatever the fuck that adds up to be. 38, I think. Does he have the cardio to go? I mean, for me, the answer is probably yes. I mean, he looked really good against Asuncao last time, and that's a legend, man, and who still has it. Even Asuncao still has it. So this, to me, is going to be one of the funnest fights of the night. It's going to be a fun-ass stand-up battle, and I actually see a Davey Grant split decision win in this one. So
let's get it.
Moving on to the next fight of the card, and it's somebody we were just talking about. It is Lerone Murphy versus, dare I say, he's my guy. My boy.
Okay.
Josh Culibao.
He is. We talked about that last time, too.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yep.
Yeah. Josh Culibao, Filipino brother. Smart on Filipino. But, no, I do love my Filipino people. Shout out Filipino people. I guess I'll take this one first. You know, this is a very straightforward fight in terms of how it's going to play out. It's two high-level strikers. Very high-level strikers. This is going to be a banger. You know I love Culibao. I mean, it's tough for me because I want to pick Josh Culibao, but I think I am still leaning Lerone Murphy. I think he's just a little bit more technical. Maybe Josh Culibao can wear him down with those leg kicks. He does have really nice leg kicks, and he fires them off in the first round. He just fires them off incessantly. So, this is me just going off the film and what I've seen and just studying them two. I believe that Lerone Murphy has a little bit better power. Who has the better ground game? I mean, we did see Josh get a sub last time out versus Melsik Bagdasaryan, who, by the way, that guy has really fallen off in my book. I don't know. I really liked him at first. And then his little post-fight speech, I hated that. Guys, you know, I am like...
not so good, I'm trying.
No, he's like, I'm like a high-level kickboxer. Like, right. And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Anyways, this is going to be a fun-ass fight. That's really all I know. It's going to be a tight-ass matchup. I don't know. This is like the hardest fight to pick, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see where you're going to go with this one. I guess I'm leaning Lerone Murphy still at this point, you know. Both these guys are really good, though, and it's going to be a fun-ass fight. But I'm going to go 29-28 Lerone Murphy.
Okay, so here's my thing. Lerone Murphy is undefeated.
Yeah.
He's 32 years old. My biggest issue with that is you've been in the UFC for 4 years, you're 32 and undefeated, and you're not fighting ranked guys yet.
Yep.
Why?
You know what, bro? Forget it.
Why?
I'm going Culibao.
But why, though?
I'm going Culibao for that. You just convinced me. And I'm sick of it, and I'm fucking sick of it. You know why? Because you fucking stay in England.
Right. So here's the thing. To me, it's like, dude, you're so inactive. It's like you're wasting your career. He's fighting maybe once a year when they go to London. I just think at this point you wasted it. In my humble opinion, I think he lost the last fight against Santos. He seems to be slightly regressing a bit. He has very good power. He is a very good striker. The hole in his game is the grappling. We've seen it somewhat, right?
Dude, he fought. This is the first time he's fighting twice in a year since 2018.
Right. So, anyways, he's hittable. The high-level grappling, you know, he doesn't have the high-level grappling. I would love to see him fight high-level comp. I would love to have seen him fight ranked guys. I would love, maybe if he wins this fight, we will see him finally fight a ranked guy. He's taking on Joshua Culibao, 11-1. His only loss was to Jalen Turner. Pretty good loss. He also has serious power. Maybe Lerone Murphy's power is a little better. He's not the best grappler, so that's why it's not a layup to pick Joshua Culibao here. He essentially slipped into a choke against Bagdasaryan. Culibao's good, man. I'm going to pick him. I'm going Culibao.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, some storage issues.
Yeah.
Sadly, the Mac, for its $2,000 price tag, does not have a lot of storage, unfortunately. In any case, just to recap, the last fight that we were talking about, Lerone Murphy versus Joshua Culibao, we're both taking Josh Culibao. So,
correct.
In any case.
I'm taking him by decision.
I am as well.
Okay.
29-28, actually.
Cool.
Moving on, at this point, to the next fight of the night, and it's Jai Herbert versus Fares Ziam. And what do you know? It's another striker versus striker matchup.
And what do you know? It's another English guy who doesn't fight anywhere but England. And at this point, for Ziam, I know he has fought in Vegas, but he's starting to become the guy that's going to fight in France and England and Abu Dhabi. So.
And the damn shame because he's, 25 years old?
Yeah, he's young.
So, anyway, what do you think about this fight?
All right, so as you mentioned, striker versus striker. Jai Herbert is a fast, long-bodied, super tall fighter. He's super duper tall for the weight class. He has a record of 1-1-1 in his last 3 fights. The loss against Ilia Topuria.
And
that fight was
dropped him, right?
That fight was crazy. He almost finished Ilia Topuria.
And look at what he just did to Josh Emmett. Yeah.
And then Ilia Topuria ended up violently knocking him out.
He did.
But
that was a violent.
Shit, if you're gonna lose to someone, Ilia Topuria is not a bad guy to be losing to right now.
Not at all.
Anyways, so he did that. He beat Kyle Nelson, and then he had a draw against Ludovic Klein. This is going to be striker versus striker. He's going to have the height and speed advantage over his opponent for Ziam, who, of course, is going to have the pure power advantage. He's going to have the advantage of youth as well. He's only 26.
10 years difference, yeah.
He looks the part, though, for Ziam, man. Good wins, and at this point, I guess we can call it a sus loss against Terrence McKinney, against T-Rex, our boy. It's a shame. It's an absolute shame.
It is a shame.
Terrence McKinney. But anyway, Ziam struggled with the grappling against T-Rex. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a hole that got shown there.
But I will say his grappling looked
better against Figlak, right?
Better against Figlak. Who the fuck is Figlak? But I mean, his grappling looked...
He improved.
Yeah.
It looked like... It
being as young as he is, you would expect there to be, and I'm glad there is.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? You struggled against McKinney with the grappling, and then you go in your next fight, it's something that you've taken care of, and it shows. That's what you want to see out of young fighters.
Yep.
So kudos to him for that. I think the striker versus striker matchup is going to end up eventually making this a ground fight, to be honest with you. To me, this depends on which version of Ziam shows up. Is it the one that was fighting against Terrence McKinney? Because he'll lose that grappling exchange. Mm-hmm. If it's the one that showed up against Figlak, he will win that grappling exchange and therefore win the fight. Here's the thing, though. I think Terrence McKinney can make a lot of fighters, especially young fighters, fight out of their element, right? He has that crazy, scary power.
When he comes out at you that hard, yeah.
Exactly. And against the young fighter like Ziam, who was younger at that point, the inexperienced guys are going to get a little shell shocked, or maybe they go after it a little too hard and get caught, or whatever the case is. I don't think that Ziam is going to be too intimidated by Jai Herbert. The length might be a little bit of an issue for a while, but I do think that he is the better fighter here. Yeah. I would be more confident in Jai Herbert if he didn't get absolutely flatlined last year. Mm-hmm. And I know he's had a fight since, but that's still scary to me because you get knocked out like he was sleeping eyes open for a while.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I'd be more confident in him here, but I'm going 29-28 here for Ziam. I think he's going to win this fight somewhat handedly.
Yeah, we're going to disagree on this one. I went back and forth on it. I really did. I like Ziam, and I don't know if you remember this, but when he first came up with his first 2 wins that he got against, who was it? It was not bad fighters either. It was
in the UFC you're talking about.
Yeah, it was Jamie Malarkey and Luigi Vendramini.
Good fighters.
I mean, good fighters, and he looked really good in those fights, and I really liked him at the time. Like, this guy's super young, long, rangy, like you said. I mean, great elbows, great strikes in general. And now that we're seeing the wrestling improve too, the grappling, I do enjoy that. I mean, I have high hopes for him, and I hope that he continues to work on it. I've gone back and forth on this one, man. I don't know. It's tough because I think Jai Herbert's actually kind of underrated on the ground.
Okay.
Versus Ludovic Klein, I don't know if you remember, he was eating him up on the ground from the bottom. He was throwing vicious elbows from the bottom. He was winning the fight from the bottom. So for me, as for Ziam improved his grappling to the point where he's going to put on offense against Jai Herbert from the top, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that's going to be tough. At times, Ziam seems a little bit hesitant, but then at times he really goes for it. So,
yeah,
young fighter, man, I want him to win. I think it's better for him to win, especially because Jai Herbert doesn't like to leave his homeland at all. And also because he's so much younger. I think he's somebody that does have potential in the division, especially striking-wise. It's going to be interesting to see for a younger fighter who's so long and rangy, to see how he deals with somebody who has a longer reach than him. Right. He has a 2-inch longer. It's not a huge difference, but it's certainly not something that he's used to.
It's going to be apparent in the octagon.
Yeah. So interesting. You know, and Jai Herbert's going to put it on him. I do think that Jai Herbert might have more power, too, at this point. The age, is it going to catch up to him? It's a tough fight to call, man, but I think actually that Herbert's going to end up getting a TKO.
Yeah.
To be honest, and I would like to see Ziam win it, but...
And that's why he is a slight favorite at a coin flip.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I get it. There's so many of these on this card.
Yeah, there are a lot.
Straight pick'ems.
Well, when you have all these striker versus striker, you know, it's like, it's tough. It's like two high-level strikers. Who's going to win? Who the hell knows?
Right.
You know?
Shit can happen, yeah.
So, anyway, moving on to the next fight of the card, it's Andre Muniz at 185 versus Paul Craig.
Yeah,
so
Paul Craig stepping down.
Paul Craig moving down to 185. I don't love that. I don't love seeing the older fighter moving down. I don't ever love really seeing that, you know? So,
can I ask you, though?
Yeah.
What do they drink?
I knew that was coming for this. I swear to God, I knew it.
Of course. It sticks out, right?
Yeah. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. He drinks scotch, dude.
Okay. Because he's Scottish.
He drinks scotch or whiskey.
I get it.
He drinks whiskey or scotch. But, like, not just that. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at Paul Craig. Like, there's no fucking way he drinks anything but hard brown liquor, dude.
Okay. I get that.
And Muniz, I don't know, what does Muniz drink? He may not drink.
Yeah,
you
maybe,
know what I mean?
Maybe he's one of those guys.
He probably doesn't drink. I feel like he might have, like, some red wine with dinner sometimes.
Some
but
secret
like,
juice.
Yeah. But he's not out here drinking, like...
He's not pounding drinks.
Nah.
He's not going to be very fun at the bar.
Paul Craig definitely drinks.
Oh, Paul Craig's going to be fun at the bar.
Oh, no question, dude.
But I feel like he'd be one of those drunks that's, like, too touchy. And it's like, bro.
And, like, you're way too big to be thrown
you're
around.
Too big
shit
for
like
that. And,
yeah.
like, you're too strong.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, dude, in Vegas, we met... I met Gordon Ryan.
Oh.
You were there, weren't you?
I was there, but I don't fuck with Gordon Ryan like that, so I didn't care to, like...
There we go. So I shook his hand. Unreal grip strength.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's Gordon Ryan.
That's what I'm saying.
He's the literal... he's the Michael Jordan of jiu-jitsu.
Like, in the short time we've been doing this, we met John Jones. We met so many great fighters, right?
Can we, on a lesser extent,
Yeah.
Val,
super thick and
his
jacked.
fucking hands are like... I got big hands, dude.
Right.
Val's hands are like...
Here's the thing, though. So we met all these dudes, and it's like, they're all going to beat our ass. Like, they can all beat our ass.
Yeah.
I felt like a little bitch next to Gordon Ryan. I was shaking his hand. I was like, dude, this guy can literally just murder me right now.
He's also on steroids. So
yeah.
Also, get well. You know, he wasn't doing well. So, but also, nice of him to take the time. And it was fucking sweltering heat at that point. It was like 1 p.m. in Vegas. Like,
it was
110 degrees. He stopped to take pictures of the people. That was nice of him.
But my whole point is, like,
he actually
Paul
took
Craig
some pictures with minorities, too.
What do you mean?
I feel like he's for sure racist.
You think so?
Oh, my God.
Why would you put that on him?
I feel like I've seen some things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, anyways, my whole point was, I think, like...
That's a scary dude.
That's the kind of dude that, like, Paul Craig... He's, like, very similar to Gordon Ryan.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Like, if this guy gets a little too buzzed, he might just, like, mess around and, like...
Fuck around. Yeah, I'm good. I don't want no parts of that. But, yeah. Andre Muniz versus Paul Craig. Interesting matchup. Again, I don't love that Paul Craig is coming down at 36 years of age at this point. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. To me, this is a straightforward matchup. Andre Muniz is really good on the ground. He's got really good jiu-jitsu. I mean, he's known for his submissions, too, for the most part. He's also pretty damn good on the feet. Paul Craig, not very good on the feet. Moving down weight classes at 35 or 36 years old. I don't love that. Maybe the crowd gets him pumped up, and he would be the kind of guy that would happen for. But I see a pretty easy, relatively speaking, obviously, 30-27 decision for Muniz.
Okay. My concern here for Paul Craig is, obviously, it's cutting that extra 20 pounds. How is a guy that looks like that going to cut an additional 20 pounds? Where's it coming from? Yeah, like where's that extra weight at, right? Mm-hmm. He has no fat on his body.
Maybe he wasn't cutting a lot to begin with.
Probably.
That has to be it.
And then the second thing is the weight class move going to help or hurt his chin? Because Paul Craig's story, we all know what it is, right? He is a threat to literally beat anybody.
And he knocks some people out, too.
Right.
But he might get slept.
He might.
Yeah.
And that's what we've seen. The guys that have beat him are power guys, though, right?
Yeah.
It's been Tyson Pedro and Khalil Rountree and Johnny Walker. It's guys with some serious power. And then as you look at his wins, it's ridiculous. It's Jamal Hill, it's Nikita Krylov, Ankalaev, Kennedy and Zechiku, like all these ranked guys. Jamal Hill's a champion. Yeah, he just released the belt. Get well soon, sweet
Man,
dreams.
for real. Damn it. I really hate that.
Yeah, it sucks, dude.
And there was
some weird's going on. Some weird's going on at 205, dude. But
yeah, you're right.
That's a story for another day. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just concerned with Paul Craig moving down. I don't know if it's going to help or hurt his chin. I just think there's less power at 85. Like, I don't think that's what it is. There's less power at 85, but they're going to be faster.
From one perspective, I understand the move. 185 fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And as a grappler, a submission specialist especially, he can do some damage here. He can do
some real big damage here.
But Andre Muniz is very well versed on the ground. Yeah. So I just don't see him getting caught. And let's be real, Paul Craig doesn't really set up submissions. Like,
no.
He doesn't like work to like chain submissions. You know what I mean?
Like he's going to throw shit up.
Yeah. So... And I think that's not going to work as well against somebody like Andre Muniz.
Right. So I think if it gets to the ground, it's 50-50. Maybe a slight advantage to Paul Craig, to be honest with you.
I would say it's still an advantage. I mean,
he has an advantage on the ground, but I'm going Muniz by decision, man. I know he got subbed by Brendan Allen, who is not... He's a good grappler, but he's not nearly the level of grappler of Paul Craig.
No.
Who's obviously the bigger guy coming down. Like, there's a lot that goes into this fight. I just think Muniz fights smart.
I'm really curious how Paul Craig's going to look, dude. Like, is he still going to look big as shit?
Is he going to make weight?
Yeah.
I think Muniz is going to fight smart. I think he's going to stay away. If it goes down, anyone can win. But if anyone has a chance at surviving, I guess it's Muniz, right?
Yep.
So I'm going Muniz by decision as well.
Yep. Moving on to the third to last fight of the night. It's Nathaniel Wood, and he's fighting Andre Fili. Andre Touchy-Feely.
Touchy-feely, baby.
What do you think about this one, my friend?
To me, this is a pretty clear one. I
agree.
Yeah, I'm taking Nathaniel Wood here. I think he's faced very dangerous fighters similar to Andre Fili. He's beaten them. He's beaten guys that are very durable like Andre Fili, maybe even more so, and beaten them. Fili's a dog, man. He is dangerous, but it seems there's a ceiling that he hits.
No question.
And once he hits it, he can't beat the guys above that ceiling or that line. I truly believe Nathaniel Wood is a real prospect, a very high-level one. The power's real. The striking's legit. I think he will find Fili's chin and put him out at some point, probably later in the fight. Let's say round 2, KO. In front of his home crowd, he's going to get a huge win. This could propel him up the rankings, but it goes back to the thing you were saying. Like, God damn, if you guys would just fight more often, or maybe leave your bubble in Manchester or in London or wherever the fuck you are, and just... show up, dude. There is fights every weekend at the UFC Apex.
Yep.
There is fight nights that are whack as hell aside, besides the main event generally.
Yep.
There's pay-per-view cards that need some big names on the prelims to get people interested. This could be us but you playing type shit. You know what I mean? Like, dude,
absolutely.
There's no reason for this kid to not be more active and not be showing up, is all I'm saying.
Yep.
He's talking about beating guys like... He's saying he would beat Patty and, like, Sean O'Malley and shit. It's like...
He would for sure beat Patty.
So what's up, dude? Like, come fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just talking about Patty, but, like, there's better fighters than Patty that you could fight.
I'm just saying, like, I'm so fucking sick of it, dude.
He beat Charles Jourdain. He beat Charles Rosa.
Nathaniel Wood is the biggest fucking culprit of this. Because he's the best one. He's so fucking good. He is so good all around. He's got good power. He's a little short, but whatever. He's got great striking. He's good on the ground. He's good everywhere. Like you said, I think he's going to knock Fili out too. What's that going to do for him, though? That's what pisses me off, man. You're holding up the sport. What's the point of this card? The point of this card is so that we can see you again on next card then. He's going to fight fucking what's his name? Makhmud Amirkhani. He's going to fight him fucking at 145. And he also literally moves up like one guy in the rankings.
So
he fights like one more guy. Like, he fought fucking Bill. Like,
Algeo.
He's going to fight like Bill Algeo. He's going to fight literally like the next guy after the guy that he just beat. Like,
and then just like pretend. And then everyone's going to be like, this is the guy. Like, this is England's hope. And it's like, dude, he's fought in Paris. He's fought in England. He's fought at Fight Island. He's fought in Abu Dhabi. He has fought everywhere but America since the pandemic. You know that, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's fought like all across. He hasn't fought in America since COVID.
I don't know. I'm sick of it, dude. I'm really sick of it. This is a weird matchup. I feel like in a way it's kind of a step down. I feel like Charles Jourdain has really improved recently. And I know Charles Jourdain lost to Andre Fili in a close fight. But I don't know. That's fucking weird. It's a weird matchup for me all around. And I hate it. And Nathaniel Wood, what are you doing, brother? Anything else?
No.
Cool. Moving on to the sick-ass co-main event of the night. It's Molly McCann versus Julija Stoliarenko at 10-7 and fucking 1.
10-7.
That's right. And 1, though, because, God, she's such a good fighter. Mm-hmm. Why is this the co-main event? This is purely crowd service.
Yeah.
This is just fan service. Molly McCann, not very good. Julija Stoliarenko, much worse. Shouldn't be in the UFC. I think they literally only kept her in the UFC for this one more fight. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Molly McCann's going to beat her ass, and the crowd's going to go crazy. And I like Molly McCann. Don't get me wrong. She's cool. She's fun. She actually does throw hard. She's not very good overall, though. She's not going to do anything in the division. This does nothing. Again, these UK cards are so goddamn gimmicky. What are we doing? I don't know. It's trash. Molly McCann's going to win it probably by finish. She's probably going to get a finish. Probably a TKO finish, ground and pound. But it's not going to be fun. I mean, it'll be fun, actually. It will be fun. Right. But in the grand scheme of things, this does fucking nothing.
It'll be a spectacle.
That's all it is. It's crowd service, and the fact that they made it the co-main event really tells you all you need to know.
Right. So, Molly McCann, I met her. Very nice lady. I thought she would be I thought I would hate her. Really liked her. Very, very friendly. Very bubbly. She is who, she is. You know what I mean?
I like her as a person. She's fun. She seems awesome. But it's what the fuck are we doing here?
No. Well, here's the point, right? Her and Patty were essentially like a package deal.
Right.
And when Patty got exposed to not be who we thought he was...
Barstool's tripping.
They're sitting there, they're tripping. The UFC's tripping.
Yep.
Now, Patty would easily be fight. If he had actually won that fight and it wasn't a robbery decision, Patty would be the co-main event here.
No question.
1,000%. I don't buy the injury, by the way. I don't buy the surgery. I think it's all bullshit.
Oh, really? I can't speak on that.
This is my opinion. And sometimes I delve down these little conspiracy theory things. I think it's all bullshit, and I think it's the UFC trying to get him better. Dude, you cannot go out there and get exposed next time because we have a lot riding on you.
Yep.
So I think what they did was we don't have Patty. We'll give him Patty Part 2, which is Molly. She's going to fight Julija Stoliarenko, who is trash.
I could call her Julija. She's fucking Mexican.
Julia, sorry. She's fighting Julija Stoliarenko. She's garbage. Her only thing that she has is some submission skills, but she has no ability to get the fight to the ground. Mm-hmm. She's no threat on the feet.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Oh my God, it's a 135er moving down.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to deplete this lady who's already not that good to fight Molly.
Yep.
Molly is going to touch her up. It's going to give the crowd something to go crazy for, as you mentioned. And then we're going to get to hear her screaming shit in an accent. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be fun. Molly McCann, round 1 TKO.
And she's the co-main event, but by the main, she'll be slapped.
Oh, shithoused.
Yeah.
And you know what? I could see a early stoppage from the referee.
Yeah.
As soon as
it's a women's fight.
Yeah, as soon as 2-3 ground and pound shots go. Yeah, or if God forbid, if Molly just cracks her a little on the fence and she just
it's over.
Covers up, it's done.
Yeah. Yep.
Marc Goddard or Lukasz Pajeski or whoever the referee's going to be in England is stopping this fight ASAP, bro.
Yep.
But yeah, Meatball Molly, first round.
I mean, that's the easiest call in the entire card. And moving on to the main event, and it's the return of Tom Aspinall. And again, man, I feel like they really haven't done this boy justice in terms of hyping up the return. I mean, he was fast rising in the heavyweight division. Obviously, blew up the knee. Pretty fast return, I would say, honestly, for as devastating as that looked. But it's Tom Aspinall versus Marcin Tybura. What do you think about the main event?
Yeah, so how do you pick against Tom Aspinall here is my question.
I mean, you can't.
Right. He's a minus 450, and I think that's low. Obviously, that's
he's coming
due
off
to the
injury. I get it, yeah.
So it's obviously due to the injury.
Yeah.
I just want to throw in, we're not a betting podcast. We always say that.
Yeah.
But Tom Aspinall at minus 450, I think, is a value pick.
It could be.
Molly McCann at 350
I'll
is value.
I'll throw 450 to win 100.
And I'm saying Molly McCann by finish is probably going to be a lot better than the minus 350 that she is as a money line pick. That's a parlay I'm playing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm both of those by finish. But anyways, Marcin Tybura is 37 years old. He is not dangerous at heavyweight. Most of his wins come by decision. What is he going to do, Dino? Is he going to outstrike Tom Aspinall?
I mean, certainly not.
Right. Is he going to out-grapple Tom Aspinall?
No, he's not. He's better everywhere,
Is he going to out-cardio him?
good lord, no.
Right.
You know what? But his cardio is not as bad as some people.
Right. It's not. But it's not Tom Aspinall.
No way.
So
Tom Aspinall's younger, stronger, faster, a better striker, got elite boxing, is pretty good on the ground.
Very good jiu-jitsu.
Very
good jiu-jitsu for heavyweight.
There's no way.
So my thing is, besides the leg not being fully healed up,
that's the one thing I have written down too. Unless he comes in like super apprehensive because of the knee, I see him winning this handily in any area.
Right. Besides the leg not being fully healed or another freak injury happening, this is a very easy fight for me. I think Tom Aspinall is going to be smart. I think he's going to take his time early in the first round to kind of feel things out. And as soon as he sees the opportunity against a much slower, less imposing fighter to take him down, he is going to do that.
Yeah.
He is going to take his back, and he is going to choke him out in the first round. I'm going Tom Aspinall round 1 sub RNC.
I had round 1 TKO.
Yeah.
Same shit, though. I mean, I could absolutely see a sub, too. But, I mean, you've pretty much covered it. What else is there really to say? Tom Aspinall is much better. Tybura, nice 2-fight win streak of beating up on fat Eastern European white men. But, it stops here.
So we hit this. That's going to be 5 main events in a row.
There we go.
We're moving back. Hey, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
What
was our big streak?
I think I hit 7 or 8. I'm going to have to recount it.
8.
Yeah, I'm going to have to recount it. Anyways, so here's what the UFC did. They gave us some fire at 290. They gave us the bullshit last week. This kind of gets a little better. And then next week's absolutely bananas with UFC 291. The BMF's back on the line.
Yep. Wow, so fucking stupid.
Right, and the potential of a 205
Is Masvidal
going
to present the belt?
That's what they said.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Sorry, Masvidal.
So we're getting back to the insanity next week. I'm super excited about that because this has been hella boring. Disclaimer, this card is an early morning card because it is in the UK.
Yes.
I believe it starts at 11 Central.
Yep.
So wherever you're at, check out your local listings and do all that shit.
Right, yeah.
I'm excited, man. It back-to-back weeks of a little
Yeah,
and
I'm excited to just be back doing this again.
I'm saying, dude. And next week, we're going to have a shit ton of videos for you guys at UFC 291. Sorry for not uploading too much. We had some videos that were supposed to drop while we were in Vegas. What happens in Vegas sometimes stays there. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yep.
But anyways, I will drop casuals for you guys as well for this card and for 291. Dino, do you have anything else to say?
No, sir.
You're good?
I'm good, my friend.
He's DS. I'm Dino Bam Bam. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit the little bell. It lets you know when our videos drop. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.